Yo, 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 yo. Dollar pairs, yen pairs, gold, oil. Let's go. Hello, my name is Wayne. Nice to meet you. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for Traders Way. Please visit tradersway.com and open an account today. Why? Because you like these webinars. I'm not feeling very good today. Coffees aren't really helping. You know, when you don't want to drink coffee, something's major wrong, right? So anyways, I don't feel very good. So let's keep this short and sweet. So please ask questions. I'll go through the charts you specifically asked for. I suggest dollar pair, yen pairs, and all that kind of stuff, but it's up to you. You're the boss. I'm just a humble currency trader. Anything else? I don't know. Thank you to Forex.Today for hosting us. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please get involved. Please treat your fellow currency traders in our community with respect and professionalism. All that kind of stuff. Let's get to it. Just want to point out things like, yeah, thank you, Paul. When we're looking at Kiwi dollar here, looks like a trend. Isn't that nice? Look where we started the month. Okay. A bear's point of view is this is a sell, this is a sell. If this is the high, this is the projected low. If this is the high, this is the projected low. We're even lower than that. It doesn't matter because you should have already taken profit. And you're like, but Wayne, why would I take profit still falling? Yeah, whatever. You either do what you're supposed to do or you don't do what you're supposed to do. That's that. Aussie dollar. This one's a little disappointing for bulls because, well, maybe not. This was the buy. This was the take profit. We missed it by, I think it was about 9 pips. So that makes sense. Went back into the roll reversal area and then collapsed. So now we're all the way back here. This top here, if we had hit it, if it had gone a little higher, it would have been more believable. Like if it had hit this area or if it hit this area, it would have been more believable as a short. We didn't quite get there, but it did what it was supposed to do. And that was return back to the central. Cesar's in the West Indies. I love the West Indies. What a fun place. What a great place. Yeah, Joe says people are almost certain RBA, Canada, Bank of Canada. Oh, you're talking RBA, sorry. Yeah, Bank of Canada's today. So maybe you want to trade some kitty cat. Hey Cesar, where in the West Indies are you? Here's a little breakout maybe. next week maybe. Okay, and I want to make a comment here. The stock market went up yesterday and the dollar got really strong, right? Dollar beat the pound, dollar beat the euro, dollar whooped the Aussie, and dollar whooped the Kiwi. And the stock market went up. That's unusual. So what was going on? Oh, right on. Yeah, Trinidad's interesting. It's got natural gas. It's really nasty, dirty natural gas. Sorry, no offense. But that's actually can be a good thing. So they compress it, and the Canadians show up, and they sell it to the Canadians for cheap. And the Canadians take it back to Canada, refine it into fertilizer. So they crack it, and they take out all that dirt, that dirty. Well, they pull out phosphorus and ammonia and all this other stuff that's in the nat gas. They make fertilizer out of it, and they sell it to American farmers for high prices. So anyways, the dollar rose when the stock market went up to all-time highs, and that tells me foreigners are buying the stock market. Sea and sand, yeah. Well, if you guys want to isolate the CAD, sure. Up, down, down, buy. We're in a place here where you can't buy it. So, you know, it's one of these things like I implore, I beg, I scream at people to create trade plans in advance, weekly and monthly trade plans, right? Like this is a buy zone, and then all of these are buy zones. This is a buy zone, this is a buy zone, this is a buy zone, right? And then somebody shows up and looks at the news and says, oh, there's news today on CAD. Should I buy it? Should I sell it? Like, well, it's all irrelevant at this point. Like, your investments in trade should have been made hours and days and weeks ago. So whatever happens now is going to affect those that are invested properly, right? So can you buy this now? No. Oh, I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Okay. That's a top based on price action. It's a top based on market action. There's not much you can do here except buy Canadian dollar. And for that, I guess you're going to have to see this rise in oil prices as being good for Canada and maybe inflationary, because that's what high oil prices does. And so maybe the Bank of Canada comes out and says something like, hey, it's not so bad anymore. And you get this, okay? This is a better move than up. But if it goes up from here, again, to me, it's irrelevant. Remember, you have to be more than just a price action chaser. Okay. If I wanted it to go up, I mean, this is really simple stuff, guys. If I wanted this to go up here, right? I could have bought this 23 days ago. I could have bought this 14 days ago. I could have bought this on Monday. These opportunities here are simply like what I consider the job. Okay? And therefore, the next part of the job would be this. But doing something now is childish. lacks planning. It lacks everything. I suppose the only thing you could say is if you are a bear and you're ready to scalp news, and then we could say, okay, well, let's drop into this. Now what? Well, most likely it'll do like So how do you trade that? Okay. Just like you do anything else. You should identify levels of support and resistance. Oops, that's supposed to be red. Okay. So somewhere in here would be the short. Yeah, well, in that case, Joe says they're not considering CPI. And then if that's the case, if that's true, if that hypothesis is true, then this is less likely to come down. It's only more likely to go up, but there's nothing for me to do if it goes up. That's the kind of where I'm trying to get you guys in thinking. It can go up, it doesn't matter to me, okay? What I need it to do is break, and if it breaks, then I can do a breakout strategy. I still need it to come back, right? So my trade might not occur today or tomorrow or right or Friday. It might be Monday. Oh, sorry. I thought you said, yeah, sorry, I can't keep up. Why are you guys talking Aussie if I'm talking about CAD? Anyways. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, same Jim. Okay. CAD yen. Well, the weekly trade plan was sell here, exit here. Cool. So if you're a swing trader and you're a bear, you made money. Let me put this a little bit smaller again. If you're a bull and a swing trader, you bought it here, excellent trade, and your target was here. Didn't work out. Boo-hoo, you're only profitable for 24 hours. Sorry. That's a real bummer. Okay. So now the big question on CAD is, are we just at the bottom of a range? Does it work its way back up? Don't know. Okay, CAD Swissy. Did I mention I don't feel well? I feel terrible. Feel dizzy and nauseous. And those things, they get messy when they collide, don't they? So lots of support here. Lots of support. Let's take a look at gold and oil. Is that right, Richard? Hey, Richard, is that your real name? Richard Richards? Oh, I look A plus? Thank you, Batman. Okay. I feel like a. Anyways. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Okay, yeah, okay. Richard Morgan is a fine name. All right, WTI, still elevated. Remember, I can't do anything. I wouldn't sell this because it's a bullish trend. What kind of person sells this? So therefore, the only thing I have is kind of like that. It hasn't come down, so I can't buy it. And it's an uptrend, so I can't sell it. So I gotta wait. Low hanging fruit. All right. Here's a $1 million question. This predicts this. We didn't hit it. Is that close enough? Is it gonna do this maybe? Don't know. But dollar's been strong lately, and that tends to bring this down. Brooks, huh? Or Brooks, Alberta. Where's Brooks, Alberta? Heck, that it must be way south or something. Mm-hmm. This is gold. XAU. It's gold. Really? That it's got to be south. I don't know it. I don't know Brooks. Right? It's not near Lloydminster. At least I don't remember it. I mean, maybe it's near Lloyd. I just don't remember Brooks. I mean, if it's near the Yellowhead, man, I know it. Zonking out here. Zonking out. Sorry. Woo, woo, woo. Zonking out. All right. Dollar. Used to be an awesome oil fund. Yeah. You just mentioned half of the world. There you go. Check this out. Nice. So I did this already, but that's just nice. Did this. So let's go yens. Okay, we looked at pound dollar and kicked right off of the pivot zone. Check this out. Pound yen right off the pivot zone. So remember how we talked when you open out a position like we did here, you use the 4-hour 21 like this. Then you hit this target early in the week. I think I said on Monday that it would happen on Tuesday, right? Well, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I prefer Tuesday. Well, here it is Wednesday. Hit Wednesday. yeah, so you get the counter trend back. Is it possible? Hi Wayne, would you say the zone above and below the pivot are sells and buys? You mean these areas here? The green zones and red zones? Coinbase withdrawals are awesome, Joe, right? Like really quick, like minutes. They say it might take 24 hours, but it takes 24 minutes and it's in the bank account. So, anyways, I'm not sure what you mean, Banda, but I think what you asked is if you're above here, does it become a buy zone? Well, this is a get out anyway, so you're not in anymore. So it's unusual to blow through the weeklies. I mean, that's why we use them, right? Yeah, Richard. Let's. I'm thinking I think I had 3 Bitcoins or something, and I'm like, move this to my bank account, right? And it just went, bitch. It was great. It was like, damn. It made me really, really. So I don't know anything about Bitcoin, but blockchain is got to be the future of banking and finance. Not the zone, but the region, above. Would you right? So, anyways, like for example, I think you're talking about this area up here, okay, or the area below here, and to me they don't exist. Okay, they just don't exist. So, and the reason I say they don't exist is I'm supposed to take profit here 100% of the time. I'm supposed to take profit here 100% of the time. So I do. So there isn't above or below. There isn't. Yeah, so there are cases. So let's go back to the Aussie then. Okay. And you're like, but Wayne, it blew through it. Yeah, but you got out here. So this doesn't exist. And you're like, oh, but Wayne, all this money, this is me rolling around in a bed full of money, right? This is me throwing $100 bills in the sky. I made so much money on this. This doesn't exist. 99.9% of the time, this doesn't happen. So why would I give a damn? This is kind of how I look at it. I want, right? I'm a businessman. I have a business plan. And I don't plan on something that doesn't happen 99.9% of the time. Or let's give it more than that. This doesn't happen 99% of the time. So let's say 1% of the time something like this happens. Yeah, but I make money on the 99. Okay. This isn't a good buying opportunity. It's a good exit for bears, and this doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. It's a mirage. It's fool's gold. And you have to realize that you may disagree with me on this, okay? But you have to realize after 15 years of trading all kinds of markets, good, bad, ugly, dangerous, and everything in between, I have survival instincts. And they might be wrong on whatever level you think I'm wrong, but not, right, getting out here and ignoring this keeps me alive. And just the idea of me not caring is a survival skill. If I sat around crying or whining or beating myself up or feeling bad that I missed this opportunity, it's not going to be helpful to me at all. Okay? So you have to take all of that and put that together. So the way I survive is it didn't happen. That didn't happen. Oh, you see it, but it wasn't tradable. It's irrelevant. Okay? It's fool's gold. So I just chuckle at it. Not part of the plan, not interested, never happened. Okay? Bison hunting ground. Brooks, is it north? Is it south? It's got to be south. If it's not near Lloydminster, I guess I wouldn't know it. I'm trying to think of other border towns. But that sounds plausible if it's out near Lloyd. Because I think halfway to Lloyd from Saskatoon, you have North Battlefield. I could just mentally envision buffalo hunts there. Yeah. And I had friends that were Blackfoot and Crowfoot, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, that's your Oz. That's a survival skill. What would you like me to cover next, guys? Juan got out. Good job, Juan. Oh, Medicine Hat. I just noticed that. Yeah, that is south then. Maybe not south, but it's south. That's some good hockey country, huh? Dang. Sorry, Mark, I don't have DAX on this platform. Euro dollar? Sure. I had a member of FX Boot Camp back in, I think, 2006, 2007, I think he signed up. I think he was from that part of the world. And anyways, he was a member for several years, 2 or 3 years. And all of a sudden, I don't see him in the chat room for a few weeks. And then finally, I get a phone call. And it was his wife. She's crying. You just know. And she's like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so's wife. I want to let you know that he really loved working with you every single morning. He looked forward to it. He talked about it all the time. He did stuff on the weekends. He really liked working with you. But he died." And then she starts crying again. And then she says, "I have to cancel his membership because it's billing his credit card." And she said, "I just have to." But she just bawled because it was like ending something that he loved so much. And she identified FX Bootcamp with sort of his happy spirit, but he had passed away. And it was like, oh my God, it was hard. Holy smokes. It was like it was, she explained it. It was like, well, she didn't explain it, but you can sense that it was sort of one of the first things she was doing of letting go, right? It was forcing her to have to let him go. Yeah. Hey, Willie, I just did $1,000 like 5 minutes ago. How do you deal with the fear that once you identify the trend that is the trend? Here's how you deal with that. The question is fear of missing out, right? FOMO. It happens to everyone because we're FOMO sapiens. So how do you deal with the fear of missing out? So like by the time you identify a trend, how do you stay confident that it's still going to trend? So here's how I taught myself. Okay, that there's a trend, and the trend will go forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It will always go on forever and ever until it stops. Jim, you didn't like the FOMO sapiens? Okay. So that's how you guys have to teach yourself. This trend that I identified here, right, will go up forever and ever 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 for eternity until it stops. So your worst case scenario is, like you buy it here, right? Yeah. So if that's when you identified the trend and you got in right at the end, then you're going to lose a little bit of money. You're not going to lose a lot of money. And because of your technical analysis, you're not going to keep adding to the loser. So like if you entered here, you're going to make money. And if you enter here, you're going to make money. And you enter here, you're going to make money. You enter here, you're going to make money. You enter here, you're going to make money. You're going to enter here, you're going to make money. You're going to here and break, get knocked out. Possibly at break even, but possibly if you're stubborn, you lost money. Okay. And the same is true with ranges. It's going to stay in the trend forever and ever 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 until it breaks. Okay. Union Bros says this is not a bottom. Well, this is support. I don't know if it's a bottom. Okay. I don't know if it's a bottom. You can't sell here. Okay. That's all, right? I'm very definitional. Okay. What did we talk about on Monday? This is out of position. If you're a bear, this is out of position. This and this are your sell zones. Okay. And the target is in here. This is a monthly. This is a weekly. Okay. So you have weekly and monthly support. And you have an out of position trade, which still predicts this. But the out of position trade which trades off the 4-hour 21, predicts that you're going to hit this lower green zone early in the week, which means Tuesday or Wednesday. So it hit Tuesday and Wednesday. And in that scenario, very often returns back to the central pivot. All of this is just very mechanical trading. None of this is my opinion. It's just, that's what it says. Okay? Not my opinion. It's just what it says. When I read a book, it doesn't mean I wrote the book. If I play sheet music on a piano, I didn't write it, Mozart wrote it. But if I'm a concert pianist, you give me Mozart, if I play the notes, it's going to sound just like Mozart. Okay? So that's that. Would you look at central banks for different currencies to check and compare? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Okay? That's what it's all about. Go to every major central bank, read their most recent report. They all publish. See, modern central banking theory. So, let's say central banking of the last 20 years. This theory is based on transparency. Previous to the last 20 years, so when I first started trading, it was Greenspan. And then it was Bernanke. And I'm like, who's Bernanke? Never heard of him. So I didn't know anyone on the Fed at the time. So I just thought there was Greenspan. That's all I thought. And then all of a sudden, like, Greenspan went away. And I'm like, oh no, where's Greenspan? And they're like, hey, there's this guy named Bernanke. He's in charge now. I'm like, oh, snap. So I Googled him and they're like, oh, he was a professor at Princeton or Yale, one of them anyways. So I bought all his books, and I bought a textbook he co-wrote, or maybe I looked up a class that he taught and I bought the textbook from that class. I'm fanatical that way, right? So I get his books. I actually read one of his books. It was a series of essays about the Great Depression. And guess what? Then we got a Great Depression. It was amazing. I'm like, I just read a book on the Great Depression. And Bernanke was a big step forward from Greenspan. Greenspan was much more, I think some people will laugh if I said this, but much more of a traditional central banker compared to what I'm talking about. In this case, transparency. So Greenspan would come out and do a press conference, and he would speak for 2 hours, and then you would listen to Bloomberg or CNBC, and they would debate about what he just said. Does that mean they're going to raise interest rates? Does that mean they're not going to raise interest rates? And they would debate it. What did it mean when he said blah, 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 blah? So if you have to debate what was just said, then it's not necessarily transparent. Now you go before Greenspan, like if you go all the way back to Paul Volcker, there wasn't even press conferences. There wasn't even a moment when interest rate decisions were made. People would just see the market move and go, oh my God, the Fed must have raised interest rates, right? And it just would happen. And no announcement, no nothing. So now you go to modern central banking theory, and that is transparency. We're getting to a point where every meeting is going to be live. Every meeting is going to have a press conference. It's not just going to be a press release. Every meeting is going to have a press conference to talk about it. Let's all talk about it. But they publish as clear as possible what they're doing. So this is nice. So you have hundreds of PhDs and quantitative analysts that are working for you for free. They're going to publish what they find, and you can just simply read it and invest. You can do that with every major central bank in the world, not North Korea. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool, Chuck Duck. So the BIS, there's some other really great ones, right? But the BIS is the one that'll end up telling you, like, they're the ones that say, you know, Forex is $5 trillion a day, stuff like that. Oh, sure. Cortez says Greenspan helped cause the financial crisis. Sure. Yeah. Any other currencies I can cover? I guess I can show you if you're going to sell it, like if you're hell bent on selling this, okay? Even then you've kind of missed it, right? So price action is pretty clear. Up, up, right? Up, 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 down, down, drag this across, okay? Drag this across, really simple stuff. If you don't know price action, you've just discovered something you have to know, okay? Write this down. The two things you absolutely need to know. I believe you will not be successful as a currency trader unless you know these two things. You ready? You need to know price action. You need to know pivot points. Price action is a leading indicator. Pivot points are a leading indicator. Without them, I wouldn't be able to plan my day, my week, or my month. And if I can't plan, I can't prepare. If I can't prepare, then I'm reactionary. If I'm reactionary, I lose. Okay? You got that? Price action, pivot points. And that's all you see here on this chart. So going to like a 15-minute chart, let's say. Okay. When you are down here, when you're down here, it should be absolutely mechanical. It happens without thought for me now. I'm down here and I'm like, cool, I want to sell. So I look left, I drag this across, and there's my sell zone. When I'm down here, I look left, right? See? Oops, I'm trying to get this straight. Is that perfect? No. But I know somewhere up here is my sell zone. Then what do I do? Well, I'm not going to fib it. You could fib it. But then I look at other things like here and here. And I'm pretty sure on Monday, in Monday's webinar, I'm pretty sure I said this was plan A and this was plan B. Pretty sure. Okay. So my point is, even if you're a bear, you're already short. I mean, there's nothing for you to do now. What do you mean now? What do you mean now? I want to make a trade in the next 5 minutes. I need to get long. I need to get short. I need to trade. I'm like, where is it? Where is the trade? What are you looking at? Right? You have to be at least above that before you become a bull, right? Don't you need at least this to become a bull at the bare minimum? You're like, oh, I want to trade the double bottom. So you're in the business of buying in a downtrend. Is that's what how you define your job, right? Right? No, of course not. You shouldn't be a bull in a bearish market because this could fall forever, like I just talked about. This could fall forever and ever 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 until it breaks. So at the bare minimum, if I'm going to be a bull, you know, a break makes me feel much better. Okay, I certainly need to get right. I feel much more comfortable above this line, but I certainly have to get above that line, right? So, so I hope that's helpful, right? And so that's how that's how I trade. That's how I trade, right? So when I'm down here, what do I say to myself? I want it to rise so I can sell it. So when we're down here, I say I want this to rise so I can sell it. And that it takes amateurs a long time to get to that point. It takes a long time for them to realize you want it to go up so you can sell it. You want it to go up so you can sell it. You want it to go up so you can sell it. What do most amateurs do? Okay? They wait too long, right? They go sell, 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 sell. I guess it's going up. Buy, 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 buy. Oh, sell, 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 right? We know it doesn't work, right? We know it. The question is, does it take you 4 years to figure that out? Does it take you 3 years to figure it out? Does it take you 2 years to figure it out? Does it take 1 year to figure it out? Can you survive without blowing up your trade account long enough to say, you know what? I need a trade plan. When I recognize we have a downtrend, I need to identify the next level of resistance, and then I will sell. You see, that's called trade planning. You say, well, I sell high at resistance, and I know we're a bear. I believe we're a bear. So I need to come up with a trade plan. Well, where is resistance? Well, I see this pivot. I see this pivot cluster. So this is best. So the higher one is better, but this is an opportunity. So somewhere in here, I want to be short. So I hope it rises back to that area so I can sell it, right? That is how you trade. And then what? Well, we're stuck on this 15-minute chart, right? So, one click too many. All right. So in here, you're saying somewhere up in here, right? You actually had a little higher. Like somewhere up in there is where you want to sell. So what happens? You get near, okay? And then, oh. You see? You're like, oh, that is bearish price action. So what do? You look left. Drag, it was supposed to be blue. You look left, drag it across, and that's your sell zone. So you should be short, sort of in here somewhere. I'm trying to get this perfect. I know it's not perfect. Okay? So in here, right, your stop is above, obviously. And boom, now you got paid. Now you can move your stop. Now you're down here, and you're like, well, I'm going to look left. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look here, drag that across. So now you got plan A, you got plan B. Okay, so you should be short somewhere around here, right? Right? And hopefully it keeps going. And it will keep going until it stops falling. And then you'll have to stop trading and reanalyze. Yeah, hundreds, huh? All right, EuroCAD. We looked at EuroCAD briefly, but it's all done. Like all those trades are done. I know the news is coming out, but let me be clear. Doing something now is foolish, right? All your trades should have been done either, Monday at the very latest, but even last week, right? So I don't have EuroCAD here, but it's just right. You can set this up for a sell. You cannot buy it. Done. Okay. You can sell it. You cannot buy it. But if you were a bull, this was so obvious, right? That if you're not doing that, I don't know what you're doing, and that it really causes great concern. Okay. If you're not doing the straight up, straightforward trades, I don't know what you're doing. And it might be because you don't know what you're doing, right? So you got to be here every day, ask questions, get involved, write things down. I don't know how seriously you take our webinars every morning. I don't know if you take notes. Some people do. They get really good as traders. The next thing you could do is you can take a course at FX Bootcamp. Learn price action, learn pivot points, get involved, man. Ratchet it up. This is a competition. I don't know if you know that. This is a zero-sum game. Every time you lose money, you're transferring your wealth to someone else that already knows these things. Euro Swissy. Someone asked for Euro Swissy. So it's a competition. Cool. Okay. So, by definition, what happens here? Bulls are supposed to get out. Cool. Now, if you were a bull, you would have bought this. Okay? And you're looking at this like you didn't make money, so you did something wrong, right? No. Once again, that's an amateur point of view. The correct trade, if you were a bull, for example, is buy this. Okay? This is an obvious buy. In here, this was the buy. You might have kicked it off the 21, sort of an out of position type trade. Not entirely sure. You definitely could have, but you may not have. And that either would be okay. If you bought this because you were there pre-London, you earned it, you took it off the 21, great. But the basics is you would have liked to have come down even just 10 more pips, right? And then you would have bought in this zone. So I don't know if you would have done it 5 p.m. New York close or something. But this is a buy zone and you would have lost. You would have made money here. You would have made money here, right? Here's your buy zone the day before. So you might be long here and here and here. And this one didn't work out. Fine. So that might be the end of your uptrend. Okay. Conversely, this was the sell zone. The bears got it this time. Now, one interesting thing about trading now is that if you do your job, bears in an uptrend are not going to get very many trades. Okay? If you're a bear, when there's an uptrend like this in particular, right, you're just not going to get a lot of trades. First of all, what kind of buffoon keeps selling this, right? You should at least say, well, before I sell this, I need a lower low, the bare minimum, right? So just basic technical analysis will keep you out of this, okay? And then buyers keep buying, right? Buy, 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 until it stops working, and then bears get their turn. And bulls, at some point, need to stop buying. And that's what technical analysis does, right? So going back to the previous comment that someone made, yes, go to the BIS website, go to the central bank websites, go to OPEC websites. There's so many great websites. The Federal Reserve banking system is actually 12 different central banks in the United States. The United States have 12 different central banks. Many of those websites, like the St. Louis Fed, the San Francisco Fed, there's a few of them. The Philly Fed, I think, they have fantastic websites. Oh my gosh. If you know nothing about central banking, go to the St. Louis Fed. They have stuff for like 6-year-olds. Start there. Right? And work your way up. Right? Once you get all of this, what you need to do is develop an opinion. Okay? So somebody can ask you something like, hey, what do you think of the odd of the Australian dollar? Oh, well, blah, 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 and you should just boom, boom, you just go crazy, right? Oh, well, the RBA and blah, 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 and their exports and blah, 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 and China and blah, 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 real estate, blah, 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 blah. But you have an opinion and you can voice it. That's when you approach professional. Because remember, people will pay you money for your opinion. Now, they won't pay you very much, right? You can work at a bank and make $60,000 a year. That's great. Now, if you can also trade your opinion, which is the next step. So first one is strategy. Okay. That's just economics. Economics, that's all it is. Do some economic analysis of the major currencies of the world. There's only, 5 or 6, G10, maybe 10 at the most, right? So you can be a G10 economic strategist. Great. Then you say, well, euro dollar or euro Swissy long, right? So now you have to do things like buy here, 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 and buy here, buy here, buy here, buy here, and buy here. Oops, I missed a couple, right? Buy here, buy here, buy here. And most of the time it worked out. Some of the time you didn't get entries. Some of the time you lost money. But the vast majority of the time you turn that your technical analysis to enter your strategy. Now that's tactics. For tactics, you use technical analysis. Remember, technical analysis is just your analysis of price and time. So what is it that you do? Well, you know what you know what you're trying to achieve when you open up your chart. You're a buyer. So you just don't know what price you're going to pay when you buy and when it's going to occur. So therefore, you use technical analysis to come up with a tactical plan. It's pretty simple. You know you're a buyer. So you do a basic strategy. These are daily pivot points, right? So you're like, I don't know much. I've only been trading currencies a short amount of time, but I've taken the swing trading course, and I'm going to deploy that strategy. This is a day trading strategy using swing trading. Just basic pivot points. So you go in and there's your tactics, right? You're going to buy here, you're going to buy here, didn't get it. You're going to buy here, didn't get it. You're going to buy here, didn't get it, didn't get it. We got 3 days without a trade. This one would have been maybe a loss. There you got it, right? So I think we went through this, was it yesterday? 6 out of 9? Or was it 6 out of 13? Maybe it was 6 out of 13, wasn't it? 6 out of 13 days you got trades and made money. The other days you didn't trade because you didn't get setups. There you go. Yeah, Chuck, right? An hour a day, and it's free. And yet, 99, I'm going to say 99% of people that want to get filthy, stinking rich will say that that's too much effort. Yeah, bias, that's what bias is. That's what strategy is. Here's the strategy. I want to buy the Aussie dollar. Done. Done. There it is. You're done. There's your strategy. It's all bias. Okay? So I want to buy Aussie dollar. Do I want to buy it versus the US dollar? I don't know. Let's take a look. Is this a good time to buy? No. Okay, done. No trade. Done. Well, maybe I want to buy the Aussie dollar versus something else. Let's take a look. See, no matter how awesome your strategy is, your timing might be wrong. There might not be a good time to buy, so you're going to have to wait. Does this look like a good opportunity to buy? Nope, done. Next. Hey, I want to buy it. Maybe I should buy it versus Swiss franc. Let's take a look. Should I buy it here? Nope, next. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. Buy it versus Kiwi? Ooh, maybe. Maybe. All right. All right. Maybe. All right. So let's look left. Let's do some analysis here. Okay, maybe somewhere in here. I'm looking at the weekly. Ooh. Nasty. This is a sell. I don't like that, but I can see maybe some here. And so a very, very basic tactical trade plan would be, buy it like this. So that's daily, and we're at the right price. So let's drop into a smaller time frame here. Let's get off daily. Let's go into a 1 hour. Okay, am I at support? We're respecting a weekly pivot. Okay, that's fine. And I'm in sort of a roll reversal area. Okay, that's sort of fine. So now I need to, somewhere around this price, need to look for something like a reversal pattern. Okay. So here or here. Done. Cool. I have a trade plan. Look at me, I have a trade plan. So if I wanted to buy Aussie dollar, it'd go down something like that. Okay. Which means, is this going to happen today? No, this is probably going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. See, I just threw out Aussie, so I'm not saying I actually want to buy the Aussie. I just made a decision. And I went through and found trades I don't want to do, and went through using technical analysis to find something that I might want to do. Okay? Yeah, so John's like poo-poo for Aussie. Yeah, I just put how many, like put it this way. Here's sort of my point though, John. Over the course of the next 15 or 20 years of you trading, you're going to be wrong a lot. Okay? Over the next 15 or 20 years of my trading, I'm going to be wrong a lot. It's going to be normal. Okay? So the question is, how good are you at being wrong? That means how little bit of money, when do you realize you're wrong? how do you ratchet your risk when you're starting to suspect you're wrong? How strong of you are you as a trader to be able to walk away? All this kind of stuff. You're going to be wrong a lot. Being wrong isn't the most important thing. You can, in fact, be wrong and make money. If you're using things like, if you're buying at support, even in a downtrend, it doesn't, right? Like I showed somewhere else on whatever currency pair, someone wanted to buy, I think it was euro dollar. And I'm like, well, I said, do you want to make it your business buying in a downtrend? Let's see if it was that one. I think it was, wasn't it? Right, it was this one. But you notice, even if you're wrong, but you're a great trader. And what do I mean by great? I mean, you're smart enough to buy only at support. You don't have to be that great to identify support, right? But if all you did was buy here, you were wrong. If you bought here, you were wrong. If you bought here, you were wrong. Now you can see, okay, for about 6 hours, you would have been making good money. For about 5 hours, you would have been making good money. For about 3 hours, you would have been making good money. It's entirely plausible that you made money here, and you certainly didn't have to lose money, right? You could have been wrong and make money. Okay? Now, what will really blow your mind is you meaning whoever, because I'm talking to everybody as an aggregate. There are traders here right now. It might be you, it might be the person to this side of you or that side of you in our in our conference room, right? Someone next to you, maybe even you, could be in a situation where you're right and you're still not making money, or you're right and you're losing money. And by right, I mean, right, that you're selling and in here and losing money. You're selling in here and losing money. You're selling in here and losing money. And so you got different problems, and you need to recognize those, right? And typically what happens is you sold here, and this knocked you out. You sold here, this knocked you out, right? You sold here, this knocked you out. Pre-recorded, Wayne doesn't read the chat, but anyways. I told you, Kevin Starr says, I told you about the Euro Swissy trade on the 3rd of April. Okay. Yeah, this is very, very straightforward, right? I mean, it's so basic. I mean, look at that. Yeah. And then also, guys, check this out. That is so basic, right? That is if you don't know what's going on here, like it'd be shocking that you couldn't have predicted that this was coming down, right? So there are traders right now looking at the market like this. Look at that, that's funny. And so let me give it a couple of clicks. Okay, they're surprised. They're surprised by this. And there are traders probably buying this using, basic technical analysis, basic price action, like I just told you, right? And they're buying that, and they're like, oh, how come it's not going up, right? And that might be you. You might be trading like this, or maybe this is your old you. So I told you I need two things. I need price action. So this is price action failing, but it's predictable. And the other thing I need is pivot points, which is prediction, which is also a leading indicator. So Kev mentions that right here, I pointed this out, that was a perfect buying opportunity. Yeah, that's, yeah, right? And then we could very comfortably say on this day, if you're a buyer here, this is the first target. Well, let's do a different color. It's hard to see. This is the first target. This is the second target, right? You definitely should have taken profit here. And you can see the price action, right? Check that out. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Why did that happen? Because there are bulls in the market that know what they're doing. They're disciplined, they're knowledgeable, and they did exactly what they're supposed to do. And we can talk about it way down here. These are 4-hour candles. Yeah, we could talk about that 3 weeks in advance. Absolutely. Now, it's such a great market that I went a little higher. And remember, I just said everything above here doesn't exist. Remember, it just doesn't exist to me. If you're long, you have to take profit and walk away. And I believe I talked about that. Take the rest of the month off. Oh, but wait, but, no. You're done. Right? So, this was a great run for sure. And is it predictable, like how beautiful that was going to be? No, that's not predictable. Okay? But you need to know how to swing trade. I say it every day. You need to know how to swing trade. Come here every day for the next 5 years and learn it slowly. You can go to FX Bootcamp and learn in I think, what is there, 24 hours now or 30 hours of videos on swing trading. I have a live swing trading group you can join. Right? I can hold your hand and teach you week after week after week after week how to plan monthly trades, weekly trades. You can carry that out to day trades, which I show you every day for day trading. I'm trying my best to teach you how to trade. Right? I am doing my best to help you. I hope you believe that. Look how tired I am. Look at it. I'm a disaster. I'm a mess. But I'm still here, man. I'm trying to help you become successful. And I'm trying to approach it from many different ways. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, psychology, pushing you, pulling you, slapping you, hugging you. You gotta grab on, man. You gotta grab this opportunity. Okay? Thank you, Jim. No, Kevin, that I think that was 2007. That was Windows XP. So it stopped working with the Windows Vista upgrade. You guys remember when Vista came out? It ruined the world. It just bothers me that Microsoft is at an all-time high today. What a load of nonsense that is. But anyways, no, I don't have it. Yeah. But when you go through performance coaching, you get a lot of that. How many people have gone through the performance coaching? Anybody here gone through performance coaching at FX Bootcamp? It's a real eye opener. You're like, whoa, snap. Yeah, Jim, you did it? Right? It's one of those things, right? Jean Guizman. It's one of these things like, yeah, I've been trading for like 7 years, man. I got my game together. It's tight. And then you go through performance coaching, and you're like, oh, Oh, really? Is that right, Kev? That's interesting. Well, it's so necessary because I used to mentor people from time to time. People would pay me to mentor them, and it always started the same way, right? Oh well, I'm really good. I'm really good at technical analysis. I've been trading for many years. I'm really good at technical analysis. But for some reason, I'm not profitable. So they're like, okay, well, let's roll up the sleeves. Show me what you got. And it's a disaster. But that's part of being mentored, right? The mentor, the outside observer comes in and like, oh, dude, you're a mess. So let's tighten this up. So now that we have a much better system for people to go through than sort of my ad hoc, uh, you know, right now that we have a methodology of taking someone through performance coaching, it's just ridiculous how it just slaps you in the face. You're like, oh, all right, I'm not a right. You're not a total disaster, but there's definitely opportunities to improve, right? And how would you know, right? How would you know if you haven't had that kind of analysis, right? So it's so important. It's so important to know your strengths and weaknesses. Oh, is that right, Kev? That's interesting. Good for you, man. One thing, like when you meet a real professional trader, whatever that means, but you realize that they're not godlike. They're they don't they shouldn't be put on a pedestal. Um, if anything, you realize, oh, I can compete with these guys. These guys they're good, but they're nothing special, right? Like you can compete. All right. So someone asked for peso. I'll do it again. I know I covered it a couple of days ago. Oh, okay. Good morning, Wayne. Can you please take a look at the USD Mexican peso? Arland? Arland. It's a cool name. Or is it Orland or Arland? Anyways, you want to buy it or sell it? John says, always learn as a person, not only a trader. Yeah, well, how about this? How old am I now? 45. So I guess right around 40. It must have been my 40th birthday. I came up with a plan. Right? I came up with a plan. I said, I'm going to apply, I'm going to apply to Harvard. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to apply to Harvard. I want to go back to school. I'm 40 years old. I want to go back to school. So I did. So now I'm 45. I'm still in school. Always learn as a person, right? You'd be shocked at the crazy gobbledygook on my desk. It's probably not a good thing to show. It's just sitting on my desk, but right, learning gobbledygook, 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 not getting the answer, not working on it. It's not working. Where's the gobbledygook? Right, working on it. This is all very basic stuff. If you know anything, you're laughing at me, right? Look at what? Right, gobbledygook. What? Can't figure it out. It's not working. Right? This is what a 45-year-old does with his free time. Gobbledygook, gobbledygook. The, the, the point is that yes, right? Yes, you should be worried about covariance and correlation. Yes, you should grow as a human being. Keep your mind sharp. Push yourself and push yourself. Look at me. Why am I so tired? Because I don't waste a minute, right? So the idea is that yes, you always should be pushing, always should be learning. There should, in this case, your focus needs to be 20 hours a day. Wow, that's too much. 20 hours a week. Let's say bare minimum. I don't think you could do Harvard in 20 hours a week. I'm only in 2 classes. I don't think you could get by with only 20 hours a week. But let's say minimum 20 hours a week. Okay? 20 hours a week. Yeah, you got it, Peter. Yeah. So anyways, that's how serious you need to be taking this. This is a true education. You are learning a skill. You're building a business, or you're giving yourself a marketable skill. If you want to work at a bank, if you want to work at some financial institution, you can say, you know what? I'm an expert at fundamental analysis. I'm an expert at technical analysis. I know the foreign exchange market, but I also track gold and oil, right? I follow indices, maybe not individual stocks. I'm familiar with global macroeconomics. So if you want to talk Shanghai or DAX, right? I got you. I know a lot about central banking. I know a lot about interest rates globally. Right? You got skills. You can say all of that in a job interview, whatever the job is, right? These are very important things. You should be taking this very seriously, like you're in grad school at Harvard. Okay? Okay. So anyways, my first degree I get in 4 weeks. Almost exactly. In 4 weeks I get my first degree, and then next year in 2020 I get my second degree. And then what? Just trying to get through the day. So peso. Let's talk peso. Okay. We obviously have support here. Okay. So that's cool. Could you have put together a bullish trade plan? Yeah, actually, you should have bought this on Monday. And this is your first exit. This is your second exit. Okay. This was all very, very predictable. You should have bought it on Monday. You should have bought it on Monday. You should have bought it on Monday. Wednesday, if you bought it in the last 24 hours, you're foolishly dangerous. Okay, foolishly dangerous. You took unnecessary risk. If you're still in it, you have to get out here. I don't care what you can say to me. That's where you get out. Oh, but Wayne, not listening, not interested. All right. So if you're still in it, if you bought it here, great job. I don't know. If you bought it somewhere else, less of a great job. And if you're still in it, well, this is screaming at you. You should consider taking profit. If you ignore that and go because you're so super aggressive and you're going for this, that's okay. But if you get there, you have to get out. Great. So what is not on this chart? Okay. What is not on this chart? There is a $2.63 billion trade. Okay. $2.63 billion trade coming. Like a freight train. So I don't even know what the date is. I guess it's what, a week away? I guess we got time. Okay. But it seems to me somewhere around this area here, I would suspect this market to turn bearish. So am I smart enough to know, is it going to happen here? Or is it going to happen here? Is it going to be happening here? Well, that's a timing issue. I don't know. I know that this is resistance. That's moderate resistance. So I know I can't buy it there. That's what I'm saying. If you bought it recently, you bought it with so close to resistance, I can't imagine it was worth the risk. And then up here is like, oh, for show, like a slap in the face. Oh my gosh. Get out. What are you doing? Kind of stuff. And then based on flows, right? Based on flows, I'm assuming next week you're going to get something like this. It could have happened this week. Why? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's next week, but I know it's coming. It's like sleeping on railroad tracks. Okay? Okay. I think the Dow is, you know how people tell you, like, you should invest your money and diversify it, and maybe you should buy some China stock. You should get some Chinese stock in your portfolio. You need some I think what you should do is buy Dow and use that as your international play. Why do I say that? Well, all 30 Dow components are heavily invested globally, right? They make money all over the world. They're the Dow 30. They're exposed. So if you own the Dow, you don't need to own, what is it, MSCI, that kind of stuff. You already have it. But I wouldn't buy it as like to trade. I wouldn't trade the Dow like stock indices. I much prefer the S&P 500 because, any Dow company can have a problem. So like Boeing has a plane, it crashes, Dow is down. You're like, whoa, didn't see that coming. So I prefer the S&P 500. I like trading the S&P 500. It's more diversified, right? But anyways, I'm running out of steam. I don't feel that good today, but I went long, right? An hour and a half is not bad. Hour and a half is not bad. Oh, but I gotta go. I'm tired. What a day. So I apologize for having less than normal energy and oomph and all that kind of stuff, but our time together is special. You're important to me. I'm trying to teach you how to trade. I'm not trying to do alerts, put you into trades. I'm trying to teach you how to make your own decisions. And I hope you appreciate that. A lot of people log in, they're like, he doesn't even tell me what to trade. He doesn't even take a trade. Okay. But I am trying to teach you how to trade. Okay. And I want you to be a huge success. So if you feel like you appreciate me being there with you, pushing and pulling you, slapping you and hugging you, then show that by opening an account at Trader's Way. Okay? Make sure you do that. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Lots and lots and lots of free stuff on YouTube. More than 4,000 videos associated with my work on YouTube. Make sure you watch them all. Thank you very much. Cheers.